This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
On today's episode of Around Town, Deputy Chief of Homeland Operations Ed Tomba and Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Tim McGinty held a press conference to announce the arrests made in a long-running organized crime investigation. Then, celebrate the Republic of Liberia's 168th Independence Day with the theme Building a Strong Community for Tomorrow.
Good afternoon, everybody. Before I get started, an operation like this cannot be done alone, and there's a lot of people that are involved on the law enforcement side and also with the prosecutor's office and former law enforcement. So to my left is retired Lieutenant Joe Critch, who is now employed by the LoJack Corporation. Next to him is Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Chris Schroeder, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Jen O'Malley. Matt Meyer is one of the assistant prosecuting attorneys in Prosecutor McGinty's office. This is Lynn McCarthy. Lynn is a first grade detective from the New York City Police Department's Organized Crime and Intelligence Division, and everybody knows Prosecutor Tim McGinty. All of us together played a role in this, and I'd like to publicly acknowledge everybody, particularly the members and particularly Detective McCarthy of the New York City Police Department. The investigation was that of somebody that was an interest to a lot of people around the country. So with that said, I'd like to start by saying starting last night at about 8 p.m., we executed several arrest and search warrants, and those warrants continued this morning. And as a result of those warrants, the following people that are on this board were arrested, and the person that sits at the top of the organization is Carmine the Bull Agnello. Carmine is a made member of the Gambino crime family out of New York City. He is a former son-in-law of Gambino crime boss John Gotti. He has an extensive criminal record of extortion, violence, gambling, and all other traditional organized crime activities. During the course of our investigation and our search and arrest warrants today, 2 weapons were recovered, over $45,000 in cash was seized, heavy construction equipment, and computers, along with video equipment. Today's arrests are for theft, money laundering, conspiracy, and for corrupting sports. Carmine Agnello is a made member of the Gambino organized crime family. He was in prison from 2001 until 2008 for the same type of organized crime activity that took place out in Queens, New York. Upon his release from prison, he was married, and he married a young lady from the Cleveland area. They moved to Bentleyville, Ohio, and then Carmine Agnello started his activities on the southeast side of the city. About 18 months ago, he came to our attention about what was happening through our CompStat meetings and our weekly briefings relative to auto theft and auto crimes throughout the city. We started an undercover operation approximately 18 months ago, and today's arrest and search warrants are a culmination of those of that investigation. It was a cooperative investigation between the Division of Police and the New York City Police Department, who provided us with background information and historical information regarding the organized crime activities of Carmine Agnello and other members of the Gambino crime family. At this time, I'm going to introduce Matt Meyer, who is our Assistant County Prosecutor, and he can take you through some of the legal proceedings that are going to take place now that the arrests are completed. The searches are continuing, and there's a lot more work to do And afterwards, we'll take a few questions. And if you have any questions about what we have here as far as photographs or anybody on the board, we'll be glad to answer those.
Currently, we believe Mr. Agnello has committed theft in a large scale. The charges involve a regional metal scrap facility. Between 2014 and the present, the evidence indicates that Agnello has defrauded this victim of over $3 million. Additionally, evidence has been uncovered indicating that Agnello has been engaged in drugging horse racing events. He owns horse races, and we've uncovered evidence that indicates that he's been injecting his horses with illegal substances. The investigation is ongoing, and we anticipate the charges will be forthcoming.
Yeah, I just want to say that this was an outstanding effort and investigation by the Cleveland Police, second to none that I've ever seen. And I admire their determination to make sure that the mafia does not take root in Cleveland again. It's been driven out in the past with CPD and FBI help, and we do not want them to come back. And I'm very proud to have been able to assist Cleveland in this effort, an outstanding effort and a courageous effort by their police and detectives in this case.
Stay tuned for more Around Town. Don't forget to follow us on social media and our blog, tv20cleveland.com.
This is one great state, but it hasn't been a walk in the park. They call me invasive species. Nice, huh? Or hungry pests. I mean, do I look invasive? You should think of me as a culinary tourist. People help me get around, mostly on the things they move and pack. Gotta run. I do have a lot of mouths to feed.
Hungry pests threaten to devour our trees and crops. Leave hungry pests behind. Go to hungrypests.com.
"7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. We can't keep Cleveland area students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good evening once again. My name is Asumana Kalema Senior. I will be your MC for tonight. I want to, at this time, welcome you to the Liberian Association of Cleveland, Liberia's 168th Independence Day celebration and fundraiser banquet. Today is the cultural ceremony, which is an annual event held at this City Hall. I would like to call upon the Reverend Dr. Mulba Bosse to please lead us in opening invocation.
Reminding ourselves we're always in the presence of God. Oh God, our help in ages past and our hope for years to come. You who have been with us through these stormy days and through our trials, through our tears, you've brought us through these difficult times. We just thank you. We thank you for this occasion. We thank you for this place, Cleveland, that you have blessed us with, that has been a home for us. We thank you for your kindness to us. And on this occasion, 168 years, Lord, we thank you for these years, and we ask your blessings on us. We pray that our hearts are united towards each other, that our hearts are united to all human beings, and that we will care for one another. So we just ask your blessing on this occasion. And this is my prayer, and I'm praying this in Jesus' name. Amen.
For those of you who are new here today, our relationship with City Hall started about 1992 when Mayor Michael Arrowhite was elected mayor of the city of Cleveland. Shortly before the elections, some members of our community had made friends with him. And after the elections, he became a good friend of our community and invited us here at City Hall for an evening of interaction with the mayor. And ever since then, we have come here almost every year. So at this time, I'm going to ask we're going to ask the president to introduce the occasion.
How are you guys doing? Okay. We want to welcome you today to the 168th birthday or National Day of Liberia. This is a special day to us, to all Liberians and American Liberians. As our MC stated earlier, we have a strong historical connection with the U.S., and we like to celebrate that. So you are welcome on behalf of the Liberian community, the Liberian Association of Cleveland. We want to welcome you here today for taking up your time. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here. So I promise you will be entertained. You're going to learn something today, and just fellowship with the people you see today. We want to thank you. We will inform you before you leave. You will get some information about Liberia, and you will learn some new things about Liberia and our community and what we're doing in Cleveland. So, Mr. Mayor and our distinguished guests, thank you for being here. Friends of Liberia and members of LACE, we want to thank you for being here on this special day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, we're going to ask the audience to please rise and sing the Liberian national anthem. Oh, hail Liberia, hail. Oh, hail Liberia, hail. This glorious land of liberty shall long be ours. Lord, you greatly be our faith and mighty be our bounds. Lord, you greatly be our faith and mighty be our bounds. And mighty be our bounds. And mighty be our bounds. And gladness with our hearts united with God. Long live Liberia, happy land, the home of glorious liberty by God's command. The home of glorious liberty by God's command. Please be seated. Thank you.
You know, it really amazes me, you know, the kind of history that Liberians have here in Cleveland. I'm really excited about the history, but it's kind of funny too, though. Imagine a group of people leaving a very hot country where the humidity is so high and jump right into the freezer, what I would call freezer, right in Cleveland, Ohio. All in pursuit of peace, happiness, and opportunity. It was back in the 1970s when a group of Liberians came over here to start this amazing journey, which I'm about to tell you about. But before that, Mr. Mayor, platform guest, fellow Liberians, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to share this journey with us and share this celebration with us. The Liberian community started in the early 70s when a group of African students matriculated here to the United States, and most especially decided to leave the hot weather of tropical Africa to embrace the cold weather of Cleveland, Ohio, that I know Mayor Jackson does not even like sometimes. So the students were all attending the Case Western Reserve University, and they formed the African Students Association as a way to preserve their cultural heritage, to preserve their ethnicity, and to celebrate just being Africans in a strange country and to provide guidance for each other. Soon after that, the Liberian students took hold of the organization and decided to, provide more leadership. And the organization later on converged to become Liberian Association of Cleveland. Late in the, by mid-1970, Prior Bass, who was one of the founding president of the organization, transformed this organization to serve the Liberian community. For Liberians that were coming here that needed social help, were all embraced by this organization and the services it provided. From there, the organization continued to serve and also got integrated within the larger Cleveland community, forming stronger relationships and ties with churches, with city government, including Mayor Jackson here, with Mayor Michael White, Councilman Roosevelt Coates, Nina Turner, and a host of other public officials here who have embraced this organization. And the organization, too, has also done a remarkable job at also reaching out to the institution like Preston Pickett over there and the Black Study Department of the Cleveland State University. So our organization has really moved and continued to strive over the years. Our major goal is to support the community in which we live, to embrace the city strategy of diversity and inclusion. And we are excited to share our journey with you. And we want to thank you again for coming and being a part of the history of the Liberian community here in Cleveland. Thank you very much.
Good evening. This is a Liberian program, and sometimes we do things the Liberian way. Yo, 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 yo. What's wrong with the Liberian Association? Who says so? Everybody. Who is everybody? They just all be hand clap. Now that's the African way. All protocol observed. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have the arduous task tonight to introduce the most visible and well-known gentleman in this room. Now, that's a tough task. He is well-known not only in this room, in the city, in the state, in this country, and yet the entire world. How can you introduce such a man? But I think I am capable of doing just that. Hence, I stand before you. Our speaker and our mayor was born right in this town. In fact, right on Kingsmore, the Kingsmore Central neighborhood. So if you live on the east side, you know. I lived there in the 1980s when I just moved to Cleveland. He attended Mike's Hayes High School. Who all know where Mike's Hayes is? Okay, if you don't know, just go down Detroit, or the showway we call it, you'll see it right there. After graduation from Max Hayes, he had a desire to serve his country. Hence, he joined the United States military and did a tour in Vietnam. After Vietnam, he came back. He came back home and attended Cuyahoga Community College. Not satisfied and with his desire to want to improve his educational horizon, he entered Cleveland State University, where he earned his degree in urban affairs from the Mason Goodman School of Urban Studies. Still not satisfied, he re-entered Cleveland State, this time in the Marshall School of Law, Cleveland Marshall School of Law, where he earned his law degree. Now, when you get all those degrees, you got to find a job to do, right? Our speaker needed a job. With the encouragement of Councilman Burton, he started his career as assistant county prosecutor, city prosecutor. With the desire to want to serve his people, he ran to become a city councilman for Ward 5, and he served with distinction. Because of his visible and excellent and exquisite services to his people, he was loved by his peers in the Cleveland City Council, hence was elected council president. He was still not satisfied. And not only that, because of his desire for service, he decided to run for mayor of the city of Cleveland, which he did, and I will say in Africa, the rest is history. He was elected mayor of the city of Cleveland in 2006, if I'm not mistaken. Thereafter, he's been elected 3 different times, so he's in his 3rd term now. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise up. Join me as we welcome to the podium the mayor of the city of Cleveland, Jackson, Frank Jackson.
I want to, first of all, thank you for the introduction. Thank you very much. I also want to welcome everyone to the rotunda of City Hall as we celebrate the 168th Independence Day of Liberia. You know, the Republic of Liberia, 168 years is a long time. And in that length of time, as all do who spend time, there are different challenges, different experiences. And there's a long tradition with the United States. But I will say to you that what Liberia represents, not only here in America, but in Africa, is that of freedom. And I want to thank you so much for who you are and what you bring to America and what you bring to Cleveland in particular, as you have served in your various capacities and as you have added to the culture and the vitality of this city. So I want to present this proclamation, and it says, on behalf of the citizens of the city of Cleveland, I'm honored to offer this proclamation designating July 17, 2015 as the Republic of Liberia Independence Day in the city of Cleveland, and recognizing 168 years of Liberian statehood. So congratulations, happy birthday.
Thanks for watching Around Town, only on TV 20. We are Cleveland.